Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. I'm your host, Michelle Thomas, and today we are talking all things divine communication. So, what does that really mean, right? So, when it comes to spirit communication, there's a lot of different ways that our divine team, our guides, our angels, our archangels, the ascended masters, and even loved ones who've passed on will come and talk to you or send you a message and just let you know that they're supporting you, or they may even sort of be trying to guide you or give you some guidance and wisdom on a decision and things like that. So I want to talk briefly about ways that you might actually be blocking your receivership of these messages. So here's the thing. When our crown chakra and third eye are not open, when we're not open to trusting and believing in the fact that the universe can provide for you, in the fact that you even have a divine team, when we close down our intuitive abilities, when we say, you know what, I'm not intuitive, I don't believe in all of this, and yet every single person on this planet is intuitive. It's just a matter of how you utilize the gift and how you practice and grow and expand the gift that you already have, right? And so it's really important that again, allowing yourself to be open to the wonder, to the magic of the universe, and allowing yourself to really let go of any kind of stigma that maybe you have from your past, whether that be a religious upbringing that told you like tuning into your intuition was like voodoo and devil's work and things like that. Or, you're just like, nothing ever works out for me. Having this very negative mind space as well is not really going to serve you when it comes to your spirit team trying to give you messages, because you're going to miss them. You're going to just be like, well, that was a coincidence, and keep moving on. Instead of actually going, you know what? Oh my God, thank you. That was amazing. Everything just worked out for me. Look at how amazing that was. And so they are constantly giving you messages. They really are. And so some ways that you can start being open to receiving divine assistance and guidance. One of them is, again, asking, right? I say this all the time. You need to ask and receive their help. You need to put them in the game. They can't help you if you don't give them permission. You have free will. They can literally sit on the bench for your whole life if you don't put them in the game. So before you even wake up in the morning and say, hey, you know what? I give you permission to help me out in all ways for my highest and greatest good. Thank you. Let go of fear. Let go of any kind of fear that you associate when it comes to tuning into your intuition, knowing that, again, it's a muscle. They're never going to feed you like a fire hose. They're going to gently, work with you until you're ready to start receiving more and more, right? So it's kind of a gentle openness. You also need to be a little more mindful because a lot of us go through life on autopilot. We go through life not really recognizing we're kind of just tuned out, we're checked out when we're in the car, when whatever it is we're doing, we're not really being mindful and we're not living in the moment. So chances are you may have got, they may be sending you messages and you're just not seeing them because you're completely not paying attention. You're not asking and being open to receiving in whatever way it shows up. Sorry, I'm just checking my notes because, like I said, I wrote down a whole bunch of things because I can talk and get off track very easily. Also, again, being aware, right? Being aware of your surroundings and also being grateful. So when something shows up in your life, when you see something that is a serendipitous moment, when you see those repeating number signs, when you hear the song on the radio, and it's definitely, you're just sort of oh, that I needed to hear that. Thank you. Saying thank you to your guides and angels. Thank you to your divine team. Thank you to your ancestors or whoever on the other side maybe sent you that aroma of your grandfather's pipe or whatever it is, right? So just saying thank you and by recognizing when you notice these coincidences, when you notice the number patterns, when you notice the animals, when you notice whatever sign your spirit team is giving you, saying thank you will allow them to, it's like an open channel. It starts to flow a lot easier when you start recognizing them. So doing that is really key as well. And then again, getting out of your head and getting into your heart. Stop overthinking things. Really stop, because I see number patterns all the time, and I say thank you. And sometimes I feel really drawn to going, I got to go look up what that number is. I've seen it 3 or 4 times today. I need to figure out what that 444 is, right? And I trust that I'm going to see the right message, right? And I'm not going to tell you what all those numbers mean. You can go out and Google it. You can go Google all the things, right? But I will go and Google all right, I saw 444 all day long. What does that mean? And I will kind of I will skim and go, oh, that one. Yep, that's what I needed to hear, right? Or the song on the radio that comes on when you're just not feeling great, and all of a sudden this inspiring song comes on, or a song that like brings you back to a memory, and you're just like, oh, thank you. I get that. I feel that, right? So just getting out of your head, stop overthinking things. Because again, when you're overthinking, you're not being mindful. You're not living in the present moment. So getting into your heart a little bit more and just allowing, just saying, and again, gratitude is super important. So how do your divine team come and give you messages? How do they come in? How do they give you messages? Again, music is one, really important. Like, again, you can say, you know what? I need a message today. And turn on your playlist or turn on your Spotify or whatever on shuffle and just be like, you know, I just need to hear a message. What song do you want to play for me today? What, you know, and I've had this happen to me where I got woken up in the middle of the night at like 4 a.m. By my Google Play playing a country song randomly. 4 a.m. Nobody turned my Google Play on. Nobody like turned my Spotify on. And I don't really listen to country music. And it was some country song. I still to this day have no idea what the song was. But I came downstairs and I listened to the words for like just because I again very tired and half asleep. But I listened to it, and the word like I knew it was from my dad who had passed on. Like I knew it without a doubt. The words that were being sung. And the next morning I went and checked my Google Play, my Google app, you know, to see, okay, well, what was the name of the song? Couldn't find it. Looked at my Spotify history. Nothing, gone, disappeared, you know? And so, like I said, they can come to you in a lot of different ways. Music is one of them. Flickering lights, electronics, right? Because electronics is energy. Electricity is energy. And spirit, your divine team, they are also energy. So it's really easy for them to manipulate electronics. So the flickering of lights, again, manipulating my Google Home, turning the TV on, things like that. So again, and as long as you are protecting yourself and you're asking for things for your highest and greatest good, like you don't need to fear them. You don't need to fear them. Another way is, again, those repeating numbers. And again, I am not going to go through all of what 111 means and 222. Like you can go and Google that. There's plenty of places for you to find that information. But if you see repeating numbers, right, like over and over, you're like, oh my God, just say thank you. They're around you. They're trying to just say, you know what, you got this. Keep going. Whatever it is that you need to hear, that's what they're trying to share with you. And again, you can go and look up what those numbers mean. But sometimes it's just like, hey, by noticing them, you're like, oh, okay. They just want to let you know that they are supporting you, right? Sometimes that's the only thing that you need to know is we got you. We have your back. Stop worrying about it. You can feel their presence sometimes too. So some people who are sentient, they can feel when energy comes in. So for me, clear audience, which is clear hearing, is not my like main dominant gift from it when it comes to my clairs, right? How I receive intuitive messages. But I can feel the energy shift, and then I'll get a high-pitched ringing in my ears. Like I can literally feel the energy shift, and then and I'm like, okay, it's coming. And I will hear a high-pitched ringing in my ears. And again, I don't hear, some people hear words, some people hear like amazing things when it comes to clairaudience. I just get the sort of high-pitched ringing, and I'm just like, okay, well, what are you trying to tell me? What am I working on right now that you want me to pay attention to or to stop doing or whatever it is? So I just have to kind of pause and go, what am I doing right now? What's happening? So again, some people can feel their energy, like when they can feel energy around them. Visual references, right? Some of you guys have been in this group for a while, or been following me for a while. And so during my Heal Yourself challenge, one of the things that we do during that 5-day challenge is I tell you to ask spirit for a sign. I say, you know, show me a sign, show me something, right? And so sometimes you'll get a visual cue. Like one year, the first year I created the Heal Yourself challenge, I asked for the word smorgasbord, right? At random, like it popped into my head as I was like writing things up, as I was planning out the whole week. And I had kind of the Food Network on in the background, and I wasn't really paying attention. I was doing my work, and it was just, and then all of a sudden I hear somebody say, that was a smorgasbord of food. And I looked up and I was like, okay, that was fast. Thanks. But again, like they can bring you signs, symbols. Like maybe you turn on the television and you're feeling a little bit low, and a show about like collecting train sets comes on, and maybe like your grandfather collected trains and it made you think of him, and you're like, oh, wow. Okay. It might have been a coincidence. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's serendipity. Maybe your grandfather was just saying, hey, I'm here for you. I got you. So just pay attention when stuff like that happens, when you're just like, oh my God, smell. Right? When you walk around and you smell something that's like, oh my God, I smell my grandfather's pipe. Oh my gosh, I can smell my grandmother's perfume. It's not a coincidence. Smell is intricately linked with memory. And so a lot of times, especially the loved ones that have passed on, will use smell as a way to tell you, we're here. We're here for you. We are around you. We are supporting you. And so if you smell something that's like brings back a very memory, clear, distinct memory of something, like, guess what? That's probably not a coincidence also. Another way of thing is, again, seeing animals. So sometimes the other day also, so my dog was kind of barking a little bit crazy the other day, and I was upstairs doing meditation in my room, and I have a big window that overlooks my yard. And my dog is downstairs barking at the back door, and I'm like, what is happening? And I look up, and there's a fox running through my yard. Now, my fence is 6 foot tall. I've seen coyotes, and but I have not seen a fox in years here where I live. And I just watched him like trot through my whole backyard, and I was like, well, that was unique. Thank you. And again, then I had to go look up what fox spirit meant. But just know that, like, again, especially if it's an unusual animal that you see out of the corner of your eye, or you're like, what is that? Or again, you see something that doesn't happen all the time. Guess what? Like, they're just bringing you messages. So I just urge you to not sort of put labels on things that you're like, well, all right. So for me in Denver, if I saw a cardinal, it would be crazy. We don't have cardinals where I live. Like, we have blue jays and we have some other things, but we do not have red cardinals. So if I happen to see a red cardinal one day, I'd be like, holy crap, like, that's a sign from spirit. But not only that, but like when you see it around your house, or if you have an ancestor and you're like, you know what, their sign to me when they've crossed over is a robin, or it's a cardinal, or it's a butterfly, or whatever. And when you see that, or you see a butterfly on some packaging, or again, spirit shows up in a lot of different ways. So don't limit to just the physical, actual animal showing up in your yard. So it can come in a lot of different ways. They can come through in dreams, right? So pay attention to your dreams, right? I don't remember my dreams. That is like one of the things that like just doesn't really happen for me. I've tried to remember my dreams forever. I will sometimes sort of have an inkling that I've dreamt the night before, but for the most part, like, and I did some Akashic record work, and apparently I'm a dream walker, and like I help other people with their dreams. So I tend to not remember mine, because in the astral world, I'm like assisting other people with their dreams. I don't know. Anyhow, that's what spirit told me. And I was like, great, but it'd be nice to know my own dreams. Anyways, long story short, if you remember your dreams, though, write that shit down. Pay attention. Because again, sometimes you may get a message that's really clear. It'll solve your problems, anything like that. So when you fall asleep, you can also ask your guides, hey, I need help solving this problem. I need help with a solution. And this happened to me the other day. So again, I didn't dream, but as I was falling asleep, I got this, it solved the problem. Like, I was struggling with something. I was like, how am I going to do this? I don't know how. I have too many balls in the air. And I was just like thinking about, like, how can I change? How can I do something? And then a light bulb went off over my head, and I was like, oh, yeah, that would solve my problem. Huh. Okay. And then I went and took action on it. So again, when you ask your guidance team for help and say, you know what, I just need help solving this problem. I don't know how, I don't have a solution, and I would really love your help. And then you wake up, or as you're falling asleep, or as you're waking up, this like thought pops into your head. Yes, all of that. It's very easy. So, and then again, those serendipitous moments, things that are not coincidences, when you're like, hey, I really need a parking spot, asking them, hey, can you help me find a parking spot? Someone pulls out right in front of you. Boom. There you go. Thank you for the parking spot. Use your team, guys. They're there for you. Ask them for help. That is what they're there for. So, thank you guys for watching Transformation Tuesday. Don't forget to ask your spirit team for help. I love y'all. And if you guys have suggestions for my Transformation Tuesday topics, please feel free to leave a comment. I'm happy to answer anything. To be honest, I'm happy to broach any subject. If you're part of my You Can Heal Yourself group, remember I'm doing a Q&A on the 31st of January. So you guys can also bring your questions to that little live session as well. I'm going to be answering all of your questions. And don't forget to follow me on all of the socials, as well as I have a healing circle happening on Thursday. So you can still register. There's still a couple spaces left. And so if you want, you can go to radiantlivinghlc.com/events. And you can find out all the details, because I'm also doing a free Heal the Heart workshop on February the 16th. So lots of great upcoming events and stuff that is happening in here. But anyhow, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys all soon. Thank you so much for watching.